Hi everyone, I'm so excited that you are on the Jen Somaga show. I'm in one of the cities here in Massachusetts, Boston, and I'm so honored to be visiting one of the great men we have in our community, in the Ugandan community. And I believe whoever is going to be watching this show, you're going to be blessed and you're going to be inspired. So welcome and stay tuned. So yes, if you are watching us for the first time, this is the Jen Somaga show, and I am visiting one of the great offices we have here in Boston, a Ugandan radio office, based here in Boston. And as I said on the start, I have an honor to have one of the great men we have in the community. And he's here to tell us more, and you just need to sit calmly, listen, be inspired, be encouraged, be motivated, and yes, you're on the right place to be with us today. So welcome. I want to say you're most welcome. Thank you so much for honoring us to let us come to meet you. I know you're such a busy man.
Sure.
I actually told one of my friends, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go meet Mr. Simple. And it's like, what? I hear that name. I don't know the guy, but I've always had the name. So your name is going beyond you.
Oh.
So we really appreciate what you're doing for the community.
Thank you very much too for hunting me down. You really hunted me down.
I had to because you're doing a great work.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
So
I'm really humbled.
I'm going to ask you to introduce yourself for
Okay.
those of you, the viewers who are watching, maybe who don't know more about you.
Dear viewers of the Jen Somaga show, I'm humbled. My name's Geoffrey Hudson Waswa Nsereko Sekonde, popularly known as Simple, born and raised in Namaiva.
Wow.
Those are all my names, by the way.
And all these names, I think I didn't know them myself. I know
there you go.
Simple. And
Yes.
I love the Simple name because you are really that name.
Oh.
When I met this gentleman, I was like, oh my God, this guy, I don't know if he's going to give me the opportunity. But yes, he was very welcoming. His name really is Simple, and he's a simple person to meet.
Oh,
and
thank you.
We appreciate you for that.
Thank God I'm not complex.
You're not complex. So, well, Mr. Simple, I will use that because that's the name that most people know you.
That's
for.
perfect.
A little bit of your journey, because I know you're not born here in the U.S.
No.
A little background. How do you end up here?
How do I end up here? Actually, a little bit by my background, I was born in Namaiba. That's in Mukono district. I don't know if you've ever been there.
I'm from Mukono.
There you go. It's Katosi Road.
Okay.
Do you know where Katosi Road is?
Yeah. Yes, I guess I know
Yeah,
Katosi.
okay.
That's
After Mukono, you go like a kilometer, then it's Wanton, you take a right.
Oh, yes, I know
And then you
Wanton.
drive, going to like Nkokonjeru, Stamaris,
Okay.
Nsuve, so that road.
Okay.
So that's where I was born, and I grew up from there. And then went to school, and I studied with local schools. I think I studied with Chetume Primary School, and then went to Nachisunga Catholic Church, Catholic School. And then from there, I went to Nkoyo boarding school, Matale.
You're my OB.
There you go.
Wow.
Yes.
I was in
Oh.
Okoyo, your secondary school.
What a reunion. It's a reunion now.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I
good
was
to
there
know.
during the Serwanga regime,
Oh,
and then
okay.
I left during Late Mutiaba.
Okay.
I was
Maybe
there.
Those are a little before I came in.
Before you came in,
Yes.
okay, yeah. So then I went to Busoga College Mwiri,
Okay.
and then I went to Bishop Senior School Mukono. Then I went to Progressive Secondary, that's on Rubaga Road. And then from there I joined the National College of Business Studies, Nakawa.
Okay.
By that time, it was called the NBS, National College of Business Studies.
Okay.
But right now it's a university.
Okay.
MOBS, it's called MOBS.
MOBS, yeah.
Then from there I went to German. for about 2 years.
Okay.
Then from Germany, I went back to Uganda. Then from Uganda, I relocated here.
Wow.
Many years ago.
Wow.
Don't ask me when.
All we know, you are here with us.
Here I am in Boston.
Okay.
After about I think about 20 years plus.
Well, I usually want to ask this because when you came to the US, did you meet your expectations?
Half yes, 50-50.
50-50. By then, okay.
By that time, yes. Actually, I should say like 80%.
Okay.
Because I lived in Germany. During that time, the Berlin Wall had just collapsed. Not collapsed, but they had just taken it away. Okay. If you know the history of the Germans, the East and the West. So by that time, if you're black in Germany, you couldn't go anywhere. Most especially to the German people. So the only people who were like allowing us, these were the Irish people and the British who could accommodate the black people.
Okay.
But the real Germans, no way.
Yeah.
Even the Jews, actually, they could accommodate us. So when I came over here, actually, I remember walking with my passport everywhere I go. So my brother, the one who invited me here, Geoffrey Kawesa, then he told me, why do you always walk with the passport? Because in German,
you had to have it.
You have to have it. You're just walking, then guy just, Hamzi people? Hamzi papier? Oh yeah. Do you have papers? They have you have to be with the passport. Even the bus driver has that right of asking you if you're black.
Wow.
Yeah, so then I said, no, I have to walk with it. They said, no, you don't have to.
Wow.
So
you started testing the freedom.
The freedom, land of opportunity, land of everything. Yes. So I said, this is amusing. But whenever I could go with him, I could hide it. I could hide my passport because I didn't know what's coming. So now I'm smarter, just in case. Yeah, but
yeah.
So my expectation over there to the land of opportunity started from there. I said, okay. Then I started touching the dollar. You remember we used to have the euro. No, actually they were the Deutschmarks.
Okay.
And then, oh my God, you could have the Deutschmark, then you have to buy the dollar. So now I started, okay, now I'm getting money in dollars.
Yes.
I don't have to buy, then do this exchange. Yeah, so. But then on the other hand, my disappointment were a little bit, just a little bit of the roads. There were some potholes. And I said, okay, is this America? Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I said, this because I thought the roads were very small.
Just like going to heaven. Because
they said you can have a car, you have a cup of coffee in the car, and then you just move. Yeah, it doesn't spill anywhere. But all in all, it's much way better than our country. It is. So.
Wow, what a journey. So I might rush you here and there, but so I want to come to where we are right now.
Okay.
We are seated in this big place. By the way, we are seated, as I said, they are the offices of the Ugandan radio in Boston. And it's a big place. We are just in a corner of it. But when you get a chance to come, you can tour. There are different rooms here and different departments. So what's a little bit of the history of this radio? Radio
Uganda Boston.
Yes.
Radio Uganda Boston started in the 2009. That's when we started.
Okay.
When I came over here, during that time, communicating to each other was very, very hard. Very hard. Yeah. We could only communicate to each other during Sunday times. Each church, we had like about 2 or 3 churches. That's where the communication was. So you have to make sure you go to the Catholic people, you communicate whatever you want to communicate. You go to the Protestant, you go to the Balokole, actually the born-agains. We never had the Protestant church by that time.
Okay.
We only had about two churches of the Balokole. So that's where we could exchange, meet and talk, then exchange what has happened in the community, and so and so is sick. So it was very, very hard. And by that time, we only had, by the time I came, we only had home phones, non-cell phones.
Yeah.
Though some people had some beepers.
Okay.
But you could go on like a Sonda payphone on the road, then you beep them, then they call you back. Yeah. Wow. So at least, so we sat down with a few friends and we said, okay, what can we do? to improve this communication thing. So I remember we didn't start from here. We started with it was called Gerard Mutiaba, and we started with the Radio Uganda USA. I think it's still there. So we started with that. So he said, you know what, guys? I have a computer. You hear that? I have a computer. So I think this computer, it plays music. So people can log in and they listen to what that music we've programmed for a long time. Okay, we said, okay. Then I Muvawala said, but can't we use it to talk so that people can hear us? If they can get the music, so that means they can hear us somewhere, somehow. So Mr. Gerard Mutiaba said, give me some time. So he tried to do whatever he did, and finally said, guy, I got the software. I think we can go live.
Wow.
There we go. So we went live in Radio Uganda USA. But the working conditions were not really very good. It was very hard. People really wanted a lot of information. And I think our former boss, Mutiaba, couldn't keep up the pace. So we decided to part ways. So we came over here. We are 4 of us, and that's Mr. Geoffrey Kawesa, John Molinde, Robert Kafelo, and myself. So we sat down and said, you know what? We need to do this.
Wow.
So we started like with 2 or 3 computers. I see there's some pictures there with the phone tied up. So up there, if you can see that picture.
Yes.
So that's where we started. And then normally always the beginning is not so easy.
Yeah.
It was very, very tough. We had to look for money for the software. We had to look for money for the rent.
Yes.
We have to pay for the internet. It was a lot.
Yeah.
But then people embraced us. Because if people they used to call in and they hear themselves on the radio say, oh my God.
I was on the radio.
Yeah, I was on the radio. Then people in Europe say, oh, okay. We could connect everyone.
Yes.
So we started like that, and then we started moving on. People embraced it. We started interviewing people. People used to come in here. Then we had to get news from Uganda. We could read news.
Wow, I can see now you guys trying to bring the community from only the churches to now to everyone out there.
Everyone at
work.
everything, yes.
You could be at your workplace and you're listening.
And you're listening in.
Wow.
And then even the people, like business people, could do their virango.
Yes.
And then they announce here.
Yes.
Everything. So we programmed it as a regular radio in the beginning. So we were very strict. It was not like about playing music. It was about sensitizing and educating people.
Which we really need.
Yeah, and then most especially also to welcome our people, the new people who are just coming, getting them. So we wanted this to be the source of information to the community.
Which I think it is.
And thank God people believed in us. So that's how we started with Radio Uganda Boston.
Well, what a beautiful story. If you're out there, on the Jen Somaga show, we are reaching out to all the immigrants out there. It could be, you could be in a community and you think no one is there to reach you. Uganda Radio is here in Boston. You can come over to Waltham. Mr. Simple is here and the other team is mentioning. Reach out to them and, they'll guide you. I think you help even people to get, like, I've seen those commercials where if someone was looking for a place to stay, like rent, they send in their such.
Yes, they do, but that's totally another entity.
Okay.
That's Simple Communication.
Okay.
Owned and managed by Simple.
Okay.
That's me. I'm the CEO, the president, the marketer, I'm everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's another entity. Now the radio, normally it's a big thing. Then after that, that the radio kicked off and everyone was listening to the radio. Then there was some instant message which had to go on. Like here, as you see that the radio is open 24/7. But because I have my other job, someone else has their own job. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get full-time presenters.
Yes.
So we could just leave the music to play and the commercials. Yet in the community, most of the time there are certain things which need to be like saturated, messages passed on. So I myself also sat down and I started thinking, what can I do? By that time,
I love that. What can I do? You keep bringing it back.
Correct.
I think I don't know, viewers, if you're picking on that. What can I do? There are some situations that we meet or you're stuck and you need to ask yourself, what can I do? You know, you've just landed in the US. Sometimes we think that it's all about as long as I land. No, it's beyond landing. What can I do after the landing? So I think let's take notes here.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, so by that time I had a cell phone. And by that time we could have like, I could send you a text message, just a text message, hi, then we start communicating. Okay, then I said, okay, I can compose a text message and send it to 10 people. That was the limit by that time for the text messages. I said, okay. So I started like forming groups of 10. And I said it worked. And I remember we had a wedding meeting. And that's how we used to get people. They could write down their names, those who have attended.
Yes.
Then I could put them in my phone. And then I send out messages reminding them. So by that, when we come back to the meeting and say, how do you do that? How do you do that? I say, okay, this is working.
Wow.
Then there was also another lady, Geraldine Sally. They used to own a Rendezvous Club. She had also started that with their clients or customers. She was sending out messages. So we exchanged notes and said, yeah, it's working. But though it was time consuming, you can imagine sending out 10.
Yes.
It was very, and text message, they used to limit the words. Sometimes you could write wrong English. As long as they get the information, you don't care. They say, hey, this is not right. I say, okay, but you got the message. Yeah, so that they were limiting the words. So then after that, actually, text message, they increased the capacity.
Okay.
So we moved from, I think, 10 to 25.
Oh, wow. That's
Actually, by the time I left it, it was like up to 50 people. Then something happened in between. It took off very well. Everyone was coming to me, please pass on this message, pass on this message. And then somehow it affected the radio a little bit.
Okay.
Because now there were not too much commercials coming into the radio. But then I said, you know what, these have to be like instant messages. Someone has lost someone, someone's looking for something very quickly. So I categorized that. So on my show, it's of recent that I moved up. But for those like big companies, we used to send them to the radio. Okay.
Because we need a radio for bigger
things.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
So apart from the radio, what else do you do from?
Apart from the radio, I do a lot of things.
Okay.
I volunteer my time to the community.
Yes.
And you see me, I'm everywhere. I also do MC. Also, I was the chairperson of Uganda Boston Community Association for about 9 years. Actually, we started it still when we came in. As I said, that we could only wait Sundays to get information or what. And then there were like people used to come here. They could make mistakes. They're in jail. No one is bailing them out. There was a lot of misinformation.
A lot, yes.
You don't know, so-and-so, where is so-and-so, is in the hospital. What happened? We don't know.
Yes.
So there was a lot of that gap. So we sat down. I can think, what can I do for the community? Because there was nothing.
Nice. Yes.
We had UNA, but UNA, that was a big thing. I said, okay, we are here. We are like, I don't know, no lead at all. You have a problem, you can't go anywhere.
Yes.
So I said, okay, what can we do? So I remember I invited about 14 people. In the beginning, I said, okay, this is my idea. I think we are like a lost sheep here. We have no leader, we don't have anyone. The pastors were there by that time. They really guided us. I love those people.
Yes.
All our clergy team here in Boston, thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to thank them too. Thank you very much. So they were the only people guiding us. They could accommodate people, they could do anything. So when I invited those 14 people, we sat down and I said, this is the idea I have. We need to form an association to help out Ugandans. Okay, some bought it, some didn't buy it. And I think the next meeting, we were about 6. So that means the others didn't buy the idea.
Yes.
Okay, I said, okay, now I need to get people who will believe in me. Okay, so I got someone else. He was my friend. He said, you know what? Your idea is very good, but it will be hard to penetrate to people. Let us start as friends.
Yes.
Just grab your friends, sell the idea. If they are your friends, they will support you. So to which I did. And if you look at my executive, the first executive, they're all my friends.
Good.
So we started like that, and then we served for about 3 years. Then my friend said, you know what, we're here temporarily, so we really need to bring this thing out to the community. We tried to sell it. It wasn't really coming up. But then one thing is that once the clergy people, the Basumba, once they bless you, you can't go wrong here. You can't go wrong in the community. So I invited him for a meeting. We sat down, we talked, they embraced me.
Great.
So Uganda Boston Community Association started coming out. Members started registering. So they asked me to stay for another time because now we had already the bylaws, 3 years each term. So I had to stay again to have the roots, the structures for the association. So we started like that. And then after 9 years, I said, no, I'm done. Let somebody else come in.
Great.
So we organized the elections, which was very, very good and hectic. So people campaigned, serious campaigning. And then we had the voting day. People voted, and Afande Momo came in. Yeah, so she took over.
That's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I want to let the viewers there know that the Ugandan community here in Boston is big, is huge. And without such people like him, I mean, we would be the lost sheep. But we thank God for, as you said, the pastors, for people like you who come in the community and they're asking themselves, what can I do? We have to have that in us, that when we come, you don't just sit, you got a job somewhere, there are openings in that place, you can't let your friends to come in. We need people like him, people like you who are going to open up. Tell someone else, I have an opening at my workplace. I have a jacket for winter. I have warm food for you if you're lacking. Because when we do that, then we become one and we become great and powerful together. So I'm going to let Mr. Simple leave because he's busy. We really had to, we honor you that you really allowed us to come in. But before you leave, how is home? How is family? How is everyone doing?
Oh, thank you for asking. You know, I love my home place. That's Namaiba.
Yes.
And by the way, even my email, it's namaiba@yahoo.com.
Okay.
I love my place.
Okay.
Yeah, thank God. I thank God for my mom.
Okay.
86 years.
Wow.
She's still pushing on.
Great. Wow.
Yeah, she's still there. I'm a
nice.
married man with children.
Is your children and wife here? Or
my wife is here,
okay,
but my children are still in Uganda.
Back in Uganda.
Yeah,
okay.
They would be joining us soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a big home here, big family in the US. So anytime you come, you're all welcome to join.
Yeah, can I say something?
Yes,
actually,
please.
I would like to invite you. Radio Uganda Boston, we have some community activities.
Okay.
We don't only stay in the studio.
Okay.
No, we go out.
Okay.
So we have a big family day.
Okay.
And that's going to be, this time it's around 8th.
8th.
We are always there at Waltham Square. If you see that big poster over there, those are our sponsors.
Yes.
So I think to be very important,
May 8th.
the Jen Selmaga to be there filming.
Yes, we'll be there.
People
Thank you.
coming, the
Appreciate
family members coming. It's family day.
Yes.
And people
Is
appreciate
that
that
May
day.
8th?
No, July 8th.
July 8th.
July 8th.
Great. July
Yeah. 8th.
We are going to be in Waltham Square.
Exactly.
Family time. Family day.
time, yeah.
Yes, that's
and then we also have a award dinner.
Okay.
For Radio Uganda Boston.
Okay.
We still, as a radio, people calling, appreciating people. So we normally send out nominations in different categories. People nominate people, and then they vote, and then we have certificates. Now there's a difference. People have been confusing the Uganda Boston Community Association Awards.
Yes.
Those awards are for the ladies in the community, those who have excelled in different capacities. But ours as a radio is the entire community. Yes. We pick up people who have done an excellent job, who have helped out others, who have volunteered in each and every category. So it's a big day too. Wow. So that dinner, I think, is there in August 19th.
August
Yeah.
19th.
There's also the Bajulis. Have you heard about the Bajulis?
The
Matters
Bajulis,
Day?
the Matters Day. I know of Bajulizi way back in Uganda.
Okay, we do celebrate them here too.
Celebrate them here. Okay, well.
And Radio Uganda is part of them.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So thank you so much for giving us this time. And thank you so much for what you're doing for the community. We appreciate, as I said, do not be depressed alone there. We are here, and every one of us is asking, what can we do? What can we do for you? So reach out, and God is going to bless you, bless every one of you. Thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned on the Jensen Omaga Show. Bye-bye.
Thank you.